Hey Lakers fans, welcome back. We got a lot to unpack today, so let's dive right into what's happening with the Los Angeles Lakers as we get closer to December 15th. That date is a big marker for the team because it signals the first major wave of players becoming available for trades. Historically, around 70% of players who signed new contracts or received extensions hit that availability window, and that opens a whole new set of possibilities for the Lakers to make moves. Following that, January 15th tends to bring the next group of available players, leading right up to the trade deadline. If you look at how the Lakers have operated in the past, they often make a strategic move shortly after December 15th, sometimes in late December or even early January. That's when you might see them bring in someone like Dorian Finney-Smith or Rui Hachimura, testing the fit, and then letting the team play for a few weeks before deciding on the next big splash. So this December 15th mark isn't just a random date. It's a planning milestone for the front office, giving them time to evaluate who fits, who thrives, and who might be expendable. With the season progressing, we're also seeing the luxury of depth this team has built. Last year, finding rotation minutes was tricky, and the conversation was often about whom not to play. Now, the discussion shifts to how to maximize talent. You could legitimately argue for 5 different players starting alongside LeBron James, Austin Reeves, and DeAndre Ayton on any given night, which is a problem most teams would love to have. But that depth also brings complexity. When everyone is healthy, the coaching staff has to carefully decide rotations. Minutes have to be balanced, roles clearly defined, and performance constantly evaluated. Take Jared Vanderbilt, for example. There will be nights he gets limited minutes because other players step up in certain matchups. Jake LaRavia might shine, which affects how much time Rui Hachimura or Marcus Smart sees on the court. It's a balancing act by committee, and REDICK, or whoever is handling the rotations, needs to figure out which 5-man units make the most sense for different situations. You have to consider Austin Reeves leading the floor, and then who complements him? Maybe it's DeAndre Ayton, Jake LaRavia, LeBron James, and then a 5th man rotating between Gabe Vincent, Rui Hachimura, or another wing. The same logic applies when Luka Doncic is on the floor with certain teammates. The staff needs to figure out the optimal combinations. This depth also helps identify who's truly indispensable and who might be more flexible from a trade perspective. Rob Pelinka will be evaluating closely, considering who can't be lost versus who could be moved without destabilizing the core. No player is untouchable in the absolute sense, but clearly, some are higher on the priority list than others. A player like Jared Vanderbilt might be on the bubble, especially if his offensive limitations make it tough to find him consistent minutes. Yet, if he adapts, embraces a bench role, and delivers 15 to 17 impactful minutes, that can change the calculus entirely. The same goes for players like Rui Hachimura or others in similar roles. Trades might be considered, but patience and observation over the next 3 weeks are key. Looking at the schedule, the Lakers have a chance to build momentum before December 15th. But there's also a concern. What if they go on a big winning streak early? A string of 8 to 11 consecutive wins could create a false sense of security. The team might feel we're good, and momentum could mask the gaps that still need addressing. Ideally, the front office sees this period as a prime opportunity to evaluate not just the performance of stars like LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and Austin Reeves, but also the contributions of role players. With the team appearing to be one of the top 5 in the league, it's tempting to think no changes are needed. But even top 5 teams have holes, and the goal is to maximize championship potential. This is where strategic roster moves become interesting. Even if the Lakers don't acquire a high-end player like Andrew Wiggins, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, or Miles Bridges, there's value in picking up 2 solid role players who can fill specific gaps. Someone like Keon Ellis could assume a Caruso-like role, providing defense, versatility, 3-point shooting, and gritty hustle. Pairing that with a player like Haywood Highsmith or even another emerging contributor could create a robust rotation by committee. This gives the coaching staff flexibility to adjust lineups based on matchups, injuries, or game flow, without sacrificing quality. The key is identifying these pieces while keeping core stars healthy and in rhythm. The next 3 weeks before December 15th are all about assessment. Who is rising to the top in performance? Who might be tradable without weakening the team? Who is thriving in particular rotations? And who needs a different role to maximize effectiveness? Even someone like Gabe Vincent could surprise, hitting three-point shots at a high clip and becoming a crucial defensive option. Seeing how these players develop over this period will guide decisions on potential trades. It's a mix of analytics, eye test evaluation, and strategic foresight. As the Lakers approach this period, the goal is clear: gather enough data to make an educated decision about the roster moving forward. Success in this window requires patience, observation, and a willingness to adjust plans based on performance. The stars provide a foundation for a championship run, but the role players, depth, and flexibility could be what pushes the Lakers from a top 5 team to a championship contender. Every rotation, every matchup, every decision in these next weeks matters, and the front office has the tools and the insight to optimize the team before the trade window truly opens. As we move further into the season, the Lakers' next challenge becomes managing expectations versus execution. On paper, the talent is impressive. LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and Austin Reeves alone create a core that could dominate almost any matchup. DeAndre Ayton adds size, rebounding, and rim protection, while players like Rui Hachimura, Jake LaRavia, and Marcus Smart provide versatility and depth. But talent alone doesn't guarantee success. The real question is chemistry. How do all these pieces fit together when everyone is healthy? That's where the front office and coaching staff face the most complex decisions. With multiple players capable of starting, the focus shifts from who should play to how to maximize the team's overall performance. For example, some nights Jake LaRavia might be your key perimeter threat, while on another night, Marcus Smart's defensive presence and three-point shooting become crucial. Balancing these strengths is essential because mismatches on the court can define games, especially against elite opponents. JJ Redick, or the coaching staff in charge of rotations, has the challenge of identifying the optimal 5-man units in a constantly evolving situation. Austin Reeves may be running the floor as the primary ball handler, but who are his best complements on that night? Maybe it's DeAndre Ayton and LeBron James as constants, with the 4th and 5th spots rotating among players like Jake LaRavia, Rui Hachimura, or Gabe Vincent. Luka Doncic's unit requires the same careful orchestration. The interplay between him and his supporting cast, whether it's Jackson Hayes, Marcus Smart, or someone emerging as a breakout player, will dictate which rotations succeed consistently. Every night, minutes must be adjusted to reward performance while maintaining overall balance. When a player steps up, they earn more time. When someone struggles, rotations adjust accordingly. This fluidity ensures that the Lakers can respond to in-game challenges without compromising long-term cohesion. One of the most fascinating aspects of this process is watching players emerge as potential key contributors. Jared Vanderbilt, for instance, has shown flashes of versatility, but limited offensive capabilities have restricted his minutes. If he embraces a bench role and delivers impact minutes consistently, he could change how the team approaches rotations. Similarly, players like Rui Hachimura or Jake LaRavia may rise or fall, depending on how well they adapt to matchups, execute defensive assignments, and hit shots when it matters. The beauty of this stage in the season is that it provides the front office with actionable data: minutes played, efficiency ratings, defensive metrics, and impact on team performance that can guide trade and rotation decisions. Patience is key here. Rushing to make moves without fully understanding the team dynamic could lead to costly mistakes. From a strategic standpoint, the next 3 weeks leading to December 15th are essentially a test lab. The Lakers can run different lineups, monitor performance under various conditions, and gauge player impact on both ends of the floor. For example, what happens if Gabe Vincent suddenly starts hitting three-point shots at a high percentage while maintaining strong defensive presence? Does he become untouchable in a trade scenario? What if Keon Ellis continues to develop as a versatile, two-way player capable of taking on high-pressure assignments and stretching the floor? These questions are crucial because they help identify who should be retained, who could be moved, and how best to structure rotations for optimal playoff performance. The Lakers' schedule leading up to this period also plays a role in evaluation. A string of consecutive wins could create a false sense of security, especially if those victories come against teams that are underperforming or dealing with injuries. The front office has to look beyond win-loss records and focus on deeper performance metrics. Are key rotations functioning under pressure? Are secondary players stepping up in the absence of stars? Are defensive assignments being executed consistently? These subtleties often determine playoff success more than regular season records. For a team with championship aspirations, ignoring these elements can be a costly mistake. The ideal scenario for the Lakers is to identify potential trade targets while simultaneously seeing which current players naturally step into expanded roles. Even if the team doesn't land a marquee addition like Andrew Wiggins, Trey Murphy, or Miles Bridges, securing role players who can contribute defensively, provide shooting, and play multiple positions can create a rotation capable of weathering the playoffs. Think about combining Akeem Ellis with Haywood Highsmith or Marcus Smart, alongside contributors like Jake LaRavia and potentially a breakout bench player. This creates multiple units capable of functioning at a high level regardless of which five are on the floor. By evaluating these combinations over the next 3 weeks, the coaching staff can identify the most effective lineups and clarify who is expendable and who is essential. Depth also allows the Lakers to manage risk more effectively. Injuries inevitably happen in the NBA, and having a bench with versatile, capable players means the team can absorb setbacks without a dramatic drop in performance. This is where decision-making becomes critical. For example, if Jared Vanderbilt struggles offensively but is a defensive asset, do you trade him or find a way to integrate him effectively? Similarly, if someone like Rui Hachimura shows flashes of offensive brilliance but lacks consistency, do you hold him as a potential mid-season trade asset or develop him further within the rotation? Each choice has consequences for team chemistry, playoff readiness, and long-term success. Watching this process unfold is part of the excitement of being a Lakers fan. The core stars give a foundation, but the emerging role players, depth options, and front office moves will define how far the team can go. December 15th is more than just a date on the calendar. It represents a checkpoint where all this evaluation culminates in action. Trades may be executed, rotation solidified, and roles clarified, but only after careful observation and analysis. The front office has a unique opportunity to combine data-driven evaluation with intuition, identifying where the team is strong, where gaps exist, and how to maximize championship potential. Ultimately, this period is about making informed decisions. The Lakers can win as they are, but championship contention requires more than just talent on paper. It demands precise roster construction, adaptable rotations, and a front office willing to act decisively based on what the evaluation reveals. As the season progresses toward December 15th, every game, every minute, and every decision contributes to a larger picture. The team's ability to navigate this period successfully will be a defining factor in whether they not only compete, but contend at the highest level. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on, whispers are swirling through the basketball world, and if recent statements are anything to go by, the Los Angeles Lakers might be on the brink of one of the most shocking internal shakeups in recent memory. In a comment that has sent shockwaves through fans and insiders alike, Lakers coach JJ Redick reportedly declared he will never play for the Lakers again. The remark, stark and absolute, has ignited speculation across social media, sports networks, and locker rooms everywhere, leaving everyone wondering who is on the outs and what led to such a definitive statement. Though the context remains murky, sources suggest tensions behind the scenes have been simmering for some time. Could this be a fallout from training ground clashes, personality conflicts, or a strategic decision to reshape the roster? Lakers enthusiasts are already poring over every hint from press conferences, player interactions, and recent match footage for clues. Every sidelong glance between players, every subtle gesture on the bench, is suddenly magnified under the intense scrutiny of a fan base desperate for answers. The basketball community thrives on rumors, but this one has a bite that feels different. Commentators are theorizing whether this is a signal of deeper organizational unrest. Historically, statements as definitive as REDICK's often precede significant trades, dramatic releases, or even a realignment of team philosophy. Analysts are debating which Lakers star or high-profile acquisition might be the source of the tension, with speculation running rampant from veteran powerhouses to rising young talents who have recently entered the spotlight. Adding fuel to the fire, insiders hint that REDICK's frustration may not just be about performance on the court. Team culture, attitude during practice sessions, or even conflicts over leadership roles could all be factors behind such a dramatic proclamation. Fans are divided. Some are calling for decisive management action, while others are warning that knee-jerk reactions could destabilize a squad still in contention for glory. Meanwhile, the athlete in question has yet to respond publicly. Social media accounts are buzzing, with hashtags trending and fans sharing theories ranging from contractual disputes to locker room feuds. NBA forums are lighting up with heated debates, and even rival teams are rumored to be monitoring the situation closely, perhaps smelling an opportunity in the chaos. The Lakers front office is staying tight-lipped, but insiders insist that internal meetings are underway, and every move could have ripple effects across the league. For now, one thing is clear. Whatever has led J.J. Redick to make such a resolute declaration, the Lakers are at the center of a storm that could reshape their roster, strategy, and even the perception of their locker room culture. Fans, analysts, and rival teams alike are bracing for the fallout, knowing that in professional basketball, the only constant is unpredictability, and this rumor might just prove that reality once again. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.